Greetings and welcome to Tech with Jaspal. This is part 2 of the Azure Fundamentals exam practice question series where we are going to go through questions on Microsoft Entra ID, Azure Cloud Shell, and hierarchy in Azure. So stay till the end to make the most of this video. Question number 11 of the series. Which Azure service ensures that Microsoft Entra ID users connecting from the internet with an anonymous IP address are automatically prompted to change their password? And your options are Entra ID Connect Health, Azure Advanced Threat Protection, Entra ID Identity Protection, Entra ID Privileged Identity Management. And my friends, the correct answer here is option C, Entra ID Identity Protection. Now, identity protection allows organizations to accomplish three key tasks, and they are automate the detection and remediation of identity-based risks, investigate risks using data in the portal, export risk detection to other tools. Next question. What should you use to control the ports that internet devices can use to access several Azure virtual machines you plan to deploy? And your options are Network Security Group, Network Gateway, Azure Key Vault, Microsoft Entra ID. And friends, the correct answer here is option A, Network Security Group. A network security group contains security rules that allow or deny inbound network traffic to or outbound network traffic from several types of Azure resources. For each rule, you can specify source and destination port and protocol. Question number 13. Microsoft Entra ID lets you set dynamic membership rules for groups. You need to tell whether this statement is right or wrong. And friends, this is a correct statement. You can create attribute-based rules to enable dynamic membership for a group in Microsoft Entra ID. Key thing to note is this feature requires a Microsoft Entra ID Premium P1 license. So friends, let's go through this documentation of dynamic membership rules for groups in Microsoft Entra ID, as there can be multiple questions around dynamic group membership in your Azure Fundamentals exam. Basically, you can create attribute-based rules to enable dynamic membership for a group in Microsoft Entra ID, part of Microsoft Entra. Dynamic group membership adds or remove group members automatically using membership rules based on member attributes. When an attribute of a user or a device changes, the system evaluates all dynamic group rules in a directory to see if the change would trigger any group adds or removes. If a user or device satisfies a rule on a group, they are added as a member of that group. If they no longer satisfy the rule, they are removed. You cannot manually add or remove a member of a dynamic group. You can create a dynamic group for devices or for users, but you cannot create a rule that contains both users and devices. You cannot create a device group based on the user attribute of the device owner. Device membership rules can reference only device attributes. So friends, these are some of the limitations that you need to factor in whenever you are creating dynamic group memberships. And as I mentioned earlier, this feature requires a Microsoft Entra ID P1 license or Intune for education for each unique user that is a member of one or more dynamic groups. Question number 14. Which one among the following is required to access Azure Cloud Shell? And your options are storage account, virtual machine, Azure containers, Azure web apps. And friends, Cloud Shell requires a storage account to host the mounted Azure file share, which is used to persist files across sessions. You can refer to the links on the screen to understand more about how storage account plays a role in hosting Azure Cloud Shell. Which two Azure management tools can you use to manage the settings of an Azure web app from an iPhone? Your options are Azure Cloud Shell, Azure Portal, Azure CLI, Windows PowerShell, Azure Storage Explorer. Friends, whenever you have such questions, first thing that you should know will always work no matter which underlying host is browser-based tool. And that is why the correct answers here are option A and option B. Azure Cloud Shell is a web-based command line for managing Azure. You access the Azure Cloud Shell from the Azure portal. Being web-based, you can use the Azure Cloud Shell on an iPhone. Similarly, Azure Portal is a web-based portal for managing Azure. Being web-based, you can use the Azure Portal on an iPhone. Now let's understand why other options are incorrect. Azure CLI can be installed on Mac OS, but it cannot be installed on iPhone. So folks, I'm doing a comparison here. If you had a question where the talk was managing the Azure web app from Mac OS, then the options would have changed. Similarly, Windows PowerShell can also be installed on Mac OS, but it cannot be installed on iPhone. And lastly, Azure Storage Explorer is not used to manage Azure web apps and is just a distractor. If you are liking the content, friends, then don't forget to like the video and subscribe the channel. As a reminder, if you are interested in obtaining the complete set of questions in PDF format, remember to take the gold membership of the channel and email me at devopshub2023@gmail.com requesting the PDF copy. Question number 16. Which of the following should you use to access Cloud Shell to run a deployment script within your Azure subscription? And your options are Windows Command Prompt, Microsoft Visual Studio, web browser, Azure Resource Manager. Folks, you should already know this based on the explanation in last question, and the correct answer is you need a web browser to access Cloud Shell, which is option C. Question number 17. Where will a newly created virtual machine be placed in a subscription within Azure? And your options are in a storage account, in a resource group, in an application group, in an administrative unit. Friends, this is one of the easiest questions you can expect to get in Azure Fundamental exam. And the correct answer here is option B. In Azure, a resource group is a logical container that holds related resources for an Azure solution. When you create resources such as virtual machines, storage accounts, database, they are typically deployed within a resource group. Next question. Your company plans to start using Azure and will migrate all its network resources to Azure. What should you create first to start the planning process? And your options are management group, virtual network, subscription, resource group. And the correct answer here is option C, subscription. Friends, the hierarchy is now on your screen. I have already created a detailed video around the hierarchy in Azure. And I would highly recommend you to go through that video, as you can expect to get multiple questions around hierarchy in Azure Fundamentals exam. And folks, management group is not a mandatory component in Azure hierarchy, as it helps you to manage access, policy, and compliance of multiple subscriptions. Question number 19. How many management groups can be supported in a single directory? Your options are 10, 100, 1000, or 10,000. And the correct answer here is option D, 10,000. There are certain limits that apply when dealing with management groups in Azure, and one of them is, which is being talked about in this question. Some of the other limits are a management group tree can support up to 6 levels of depth. Each management group can only support one parent. Folks, you should also know these two limitations which I just mentioned, because they can also form different variations of the questions in Azure Fundamentals exam. Question number 20. A company plans to deploy resources to Azure and needs to manage user access to resources across multiple subscriptions. Which of the following can the company use to achieve this requirement? And your options are resource groups, Azure policies, management groups, Azure app service. Friends, management groups, which is at top of hierarchy in Azure, helps you manage access, policy, and compliance for multiple subscriptions. All subscriptions in a management group automatically inherit the conditions that are applied to the management group. Management groups can be nested. Some basic examples of using multiple management groups include production versus non-production workloads, internal services versus external services. So folks, that's all for this part of the series. I'll see you in the next part soon.